Well, good morning everyone, and it is just about good morning. It's literally 3 minutes past midnight, and a little bit of a change of plan today. So my normal Suffolk trip had to be shelved in the end because of a couple of reasons really. First reason was mainly because I couldn't get the tides to coincide with the times I could get down there and fish. And the particular beach I wanted to fish, I would have liked to have fished it 3 up and 3 down. Basically it was such a late high tide that I couldn't do that. And the other reason is we've had basically a really heavy rain most of the day today, so that would have been a little bit miserable to be trying to film that and sort all that out. So I decided to shelve those plans and do something a little bit different. It's going to be a first for me tonight. So I'm heading to the Shingle, North Norfolk, and there is tonight, today it's a 4 AM high tide this morning. So I'm going to get there plenty of time. By the time I get sorted out and set up, it's going to give me a good 3 hours fishing it up, and I'll probably fish it a couple of hours down as well. So last Monday I managed to squeeze in an evening session, and I headed for the same place I'm going tonight, on North Norfolk Shingle. Now I'm heading for Weybourne initially, and what I'm going to do is see what the car park's like, what the beach is like, if it's busy. Because last Monday I managed to get into a few hounds, and there was also several people there who managed to do the same, and so word soon gets round, and it's been busy all week. Now they haven't been there much since Monday, there's only been odd ones coming out, but a lot of that has been daytime fishing, so that's why I thought I'd take the opportunity to do this early hours right the way through to probably 6 or 7 in the morning. Just seeing if fishing for them at night makes any difference. So that's the plan. I'll get down to Weybourne now, we're about 5 minutes away, and then assess the beach. If it is rammed out, it means I've got a massive great long walk. I may elect to switch and drive a bit further up the close and have a look at Cly. So I'll get back to you once we've had a look. Look too bad at all. It's just 2 cars in the car park, so I'm just going to pop my head over the top and have a look and come back and possibly get my gear on and get sorted. Okay, that was a little bit of a surprise to see the car park that empty. There was just 2 cars. There's one person fishing to my left, which is down towards the wreck area, and the other person I think is maybe bass fishing, because he's right hand side of the cliff, underneath the cliffs, and looks like he's sort of roving along. So whether he's lure fishing for bass, I don't know. But yeah, I've set up myself just to the left of the pipe, which is not far from where I was on Monday. Very simple tonight, 2 rods, both going to be set up with simple pulley rigs. I'm going to fish 24-inch snoods, and I'll have a 3/0 bottom hook and a 1/0 chinu top hook to hold the bait. So I'll probably get started. 5-ounce sinkers I think at the moment. I'll just put a test cast out and that seemed to hold dead straight out in front of me with 5 ounces, and it's come back in with no weed, which is a bonus. Haven't really checked the tide lately. I need to do that just to quickly see when it's going to turn and come in the current location where I am, which is at Weybourne. I've got 3.5 hours till high water, so plenty of time. What I'm going to do now is bait up a couple of snoods, get them put out, and see if I can't repeat a little bit of what I had on Monday, which was a very successful session. I'm not really sure how this is going to work out, fishing with the lights. I've managed to fashion a couple of lights up to maybe illuminate the rods. I'll probably be okay if I do catch anything, because I can use my head torch to light me up. But yeah, it's a little bit of experimental tonight, both whether they're going to be here and how the filming goes in the dark. So bear with me. Let's get those snoods baited up. Okay, so there's the first 2 baits I've just done. A little squid bound up, and the prawn. And the prawn's mounted with just the head nipped off, but with all the guts and everything still in there, all that orange attractant. And the squid, as I say, the head's on as well, and all the guts are inside that. So they're the first 2 baits ready to go out. I should get them on, get them cast, and get fishing. Alright, that's both rods are now out, and they seem to be holding in that tide lovely with a 5 ounce sinker. So I've got the little squid on the left hand rod and the prawn on the right hand rod. So one thing you need to be sure to do when you're fishing and these hounds are about is to make sure you set your drags and your clickers. I had several times on Monday where the rod hooped straight over, and if the drag hadn't have been set, I'm pretty sure it would have probably pulled the tripod over. Now I've set a counterbalance on the tripod as well, which is a bag of shingle and a guy rope, just to give it a bit more stability. But the force in which they hit those baits Monday, if the ratchet hadn't have been on and the drag set, they would have probably gone over. So both rods have got that. The other thing was, a couple of times Monday I was playing one rod and the other rod's gone behind me or next to me. So I was able to carry on, get that fish in, keep my ear on the other rod, and there was just like gentle pulls, it weren't screaming off. Deal with that first fish and then get straight onto the second rod. Very important to set those drags if the hounds are about. So while those rigs are out fishing, I've already started preparing the next 2 hook baits. So what I've done is I've brought my bait all frozen tonight, more or less straight out the freezer. It's took about 3/4 of an hour to get here, and that's how long they've had to defrost. So I've got about 3 or 4 prawns out, ready, starting to defrost. I've also got a little strip of mackerel in case I want to try a fish bait. I've also bought a little bit of bluey, because as I say, on Monday night I also managed to snare a thornback at the same time I was catching the hound. So if maybe later on we're not getting anything on the hound front, I might then put a bait out for a ray. So I'm getting little knocks on the right hand rod already. I'm hoping that's not going to be crabs, because we can get pestered with them at this time of the year. As soon as that warm spell a week or 2 ago seemed to trigger the crabs off, sometimes you get a lot of false pulls. There won't be no mistake if a hound picks the bait up, and neither a ray really. You normally get an initial pull down on the tip of the ray, and then it'll slack line you. That's what happened Monday anyway. And the right hand rod's definitely got something having a little look. So on Monday I found the optimum time when the bite's really ramped up. I got one virtually first cast when I got here, and it was about the same time, 3 hours before high. Then it went a little bit quiet, and then an hour and a half before high, basically all hell broke loose. And I had probably, I would have think 13 or 14 in around about 3 hours on Monday, plus the ray. Just waiting for one of those rods to hook over and the ratchet to start screaming. About 10 degrees at the moment. It's not going to get much lower tonight. We've had rain absolutely hosing down all day in Norwich. I think they've had it here as well by the look of the car park when I pulled in. But luckily that's eased off and it's not showing any more signs of rain now till probably dinner time tomorrow. So I'll be long gone by then. The plan is to fish till about 6:30 tomorrow morning and then wrap up and get home before it starts getting busy. It's bank holiday weekend this weekend, so I assume there's going to be quite a few people on the Shingle here tomorrow. Well, no surprise really. Our first customer tonight is this little whiting, and it is a little one. That's took a whole squid. That's the blank saver. Hopefully as the tide carries on coming in, we'll start getting something a little bit better. That left hand rod is already banging. It's only been out 2 minutes after I rebaited. It's quite a decent pull down. It might not be a whiting this time. Very strange. I was tapping away for ages and there was nothing there at all. I'm finding it very strange to film in the dark as well. I'm going to have to investigate maybe some better lighting because I don't know how much of that you saw. Yeah, so that's the problem. That was the right hand rod as well. That's a slightly better whiting. It means nothing else can find them hook baits while they're covered in whiting. Still, just put that one, I've rebaited that one. The right hand one has now got the squid on, and the left hand one's got the prawn. There we go. Right hand rod. The ratchet just went on the reel as well. That's not the screaming runs I had the other night though. It doesn't. That's a hound. That goes tearing off. Potentially it could be a ray, I suppose, that's hit the bait and now sitting on it. But I shall let that develop. I'm not going to rush it. Let that play out while I'm peeling another prawn. There goes again. A couple more little pulls on there then. A couple of little slow pulls. It's got all the hallmarks of a ray, that. Halfway through peeling my next bait, but that can wait if that goes. There he goes again. Wherever it is on there. Worst case scenario, it's another bloody whiting. I'll let that develop a bit more while I finish off this bait. I'm definitely going to have to look into a few bits and pieces to help me out with this if I'm going to do any night filming. A more powerful light. You've also got to be very aware when you've got your head torch on facing the camera, it just whites the whole thing out. If that nods again, I think I'll get that in anyway now. Thornback. Little target species thornback. It's only tiny, but yeah, that was a bite. It pulled the ratchet. Well, that's nice to see these rays are now turning up on this Norfolk coast. Up until beginning of last month, beginning of April, I'd never had a single ray off the Norfolk coast. The nearest I'd got to it would have been Yarmouth North Beach, and since April I've now had 3, and there's been numerous others caught by other people as well, so they're definitely here for something. Whether the seabed or something out there has changed this year, Possibly, but they're definitely finding their way onto this shingle now, which is nice. It does give you something else to go for. If, for instance, the hounds are not playing ball, I've got some bluey with me tonight, so I may even knock up a proper bluey bait in a minute and see if I can put that out specifically to target another ray. Fingers crossed. We're still searching for one of these hounds. I could just suddenly turn up, flick of a switch. There we are, third species of the night. Little dogfish, nice little pull down and slackline bite. So we're going through the card. I just want a smoothound now, but can't grumble. Getting bites. It's getting back. Both rods are showing signs. The left hand rod's now going properly, so I'm going to get that. Potentially another dogfish. To show you, this is the sort of size of bait I'm putting out at the moment. It's the sort of head end of a raw prawn, trimmed up. It's about 2 inches long. I'm going to investigate that left hand rod, I think. It's probably, the lead's been pulled out, I think, on that one. Yeah, let's go and have a look. Another one. Another small dogfish. They're hitting the baits quite quickly now. Cut the hook out. Well, a slightly better dogfish this time. That's around about 55 centimetres, that one. And again, same old thing, they good old pull on the rod, a big slack liner. So don't mind catching them that big because they actually pull back. So yep, another one to the tally. Still no hound. Can't complain, getting plenty of bites. Slack line on the left hand rod. Let's have a look. Well, there you go. It's more or less just coming up to high tide. Nice big slack line, and the ratchet went. And the first little hound. It's only a tiny little one, but very welcome. You see what he's taken? Raw prawn. Okay, it's just about high tide now, and as you can see, it's coinciding with daybreak. I've just had my first hound, so fingers crossed they might start feeding in the light this morning. Also, I don't know if you can see on here, but that swell was built up in the last 20 minutes. It's gone from virtually nothing to some massive swells coming in. So I don't know if that's going to affect whether these smoothounds feed. I think it'll put the rays off for sure. But I say in the next 25 minutes, half an hour, I reckon I'll have enough light to film properly. So I've sort of fudged around tonight. I don't really know how it's going to come out until I get home and have a look at it. Hopefully I've caught the gist of things. And as it's my first attempt at sort of night filming, I think a few little tweaks here and there, and I'll probably get it sussed. Dogfish are back. The swell's not putting them off. Just gone 4:35 now, so we're just half an hour after high water. And as I say, that swell has built up quite a bit in the last hour. Been virtually flat calm all night, and coinciding with the swell getting heavier and heavier. A little bit of weed now starting to go on the line on the leader knot. Left down rod had a pull, then there it goes again. It's still non-stop. It's either a whiting jumps straight onto it as soon as it hits the bottom, or if you can wait 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, something else gets a chance. It's still only the one hound. I thought that when that one turned up, might get a little run of them then. They're still not too late. And the other thing is, with the increased swell, I've just had to go from a 5-ounce sinker, which I've been on all night, to a 6, just to stop that pulling out the bottom. The left hand rod pulled out the bottom last time, came back empty. So 6 ounce on there now. I think that's nailed it to the bottom, and something's doing its best to dislodge it now. The white have got bigger now. Look at that. It's a whole mini squid. Right, it's a 6 ounce lead on that one as well now, so that should stay put. Yeah, bloody great clonking great whiting. They're still there having a go. Right, it's just about 6 o'clock. Time for me to start making tracks. I've just had a couple of dogfish and a couple of whiting in the last half an hour. It looks like it's going to be an absolute belting day today. So what I'm going to do now is get these last 2 rods in, and then pack some gear away and make tracks for home. Hope you all enjoyed this little experiment tonight. Anyone got any sort of ideas and tips for filming and shooting at night? Be much appreciated. Yes, not a bad night in the end. Variety of species. I did get a hound, I did get a ray, so it's not all bad. Let's get these 2 rods in now and then we'll finish off. Get packed away now.